Hello beautiful and exotic women of the world. Welcome back to another video. I'm gonna get right into it today. I want to discuss why you're a threat and why they can't handle you. People who don't want you to realize your value and worth will treat you less than, in the hopes that you'll never realize who you are and kind of forget your powers. I like to say that your enemies see who you are before you ever do. If you were really young and you were bullied, or if your mother picked on you or a family member mistreated you and you never understood why, it was completely unprovoked, it was most likely because these people were threatened and they saw something in you that scared them. It made them insecure and it threatened their own self-worth. In order to remedy that, they would take those insecurities out on you. And you'll find that people who try to disempower you will start out as friends or someone in your family, but I really want to discuss like the friendship aspect of it as well, because I think that's a more sinister way of worming and weaseling your way into someone's life in order to dismantle them and dismantle their lives. So I do find that a lot of times these people will befriend you, watch you really hard to figure out what makes you you, and then desperately try to chip away at your self-esteem and confidence. And these people, unfortunately, are attracted to your light and your beauty and the things that make you you. But they could never say that out loud, because part of them is studying it so that they can become you, and another part of them also envies the fact that you are who you are, and they want to kind of take you down because of it. And these people have a strong desire to have access to your life, only to berate you with backhanded compliments, negging, and other really nasty passive-aggressive abuse tactics to psychologically ruin you. So a lot of this is very mental and psychological. And as someone who grew up in a narcissistic household where my mother was very abusive to me and I had friendships that mirrored my mother's relationship with me, I am no stranger to what mental and psychological warfare looks like. So I can always tell when someone has manipulative ways about them, when someone is using backhanded compliments or passive-aggressive language to get me to question my own sanity. If they're gaslighters, that's something they like to do as well. I always pick up on these things because I am no stranger to it. And I find that psychological warfare and mental warfare is a lot more serious in my opinion, because mental abuse is a lot harder to heal from and get over because you have to live with your mind. But if you were berated your whole life, if you were bullied, mistreated, and you were just psychologically damaged by your environment and by the people who are around you, you have to live with those scars. And it's very hard to heal those things because the mind is its own entity. And you have to do a lot of work to get it back to the place where you have childlike faith and you believe in yourself without the biases and opinions of others ringing off in your head. There's a lot of things that play into mental abuse and why it's so powerful, but it's super important that we are aware of these things as exoticals, because we are targets for hate, we are targets for abuse and for manipulation. We need to be aware of these things so we can strengthen our minds to not be victims to this. I find that these people are also very sneaky in the sense that they will try to give you advice, usually unsolicited advice, simply to make you doubt or second guess your own judgment. And so they'll do this because it's easy to plant seeds of doubt in people's minds if you are their friend. Right? So we have friends in our lives because we trust these people, we admire these people, and we appreciate their opinions and their advice and things like that. But let's say you are an exotical, you're beautiful, and you attract a lot of hateful people and a lot of low vibrational friends who come into your life, and in the beginning they love bomb you with their friendship and they make you think that they are good people, and then slowly but surely they are showing that they actually hate you and are threatened by you. They will do things like planting seeds of doubt in your mind, giving you bad advice so that you go a route that will lead you to destruction. They do these things because they want you to not rely on your own judgment and to rely on theirs, because that gives them a level of control over your opinions of yourself and just over your life in general. The people that choose to do this to us see exoticals as strong, privileged, and blessed. So because they can't attack the tangible things in our lives, like our blessings that we have, the things that we attain, our beauty, the innate light that we have, they'll go after our mind, which is in my opinion, the easiest and most vulnerable thing to attack, because again, it's so easy to just plant a seed of doubt in someone's mind, especially if someone trusts you and trusts your judgment and you have bad intentions for them. It's very easy for you to plant those seeds of doubt to make them to almost sabotage their life and their situation. And that's why it's so important for exoticals to trust themselves, have a relationship with themselves to where they can trust their own judgment, can rely on themselves and their own rationale, because seeking outside validation or advice can sometimes be your downfall if you don't realize you have these types of people in your friend groups or in your family even. Just to give you guys an example with my narcissistic mother, she was abusive herself, but I remember when I was really young, when I was in high school, I came to her to let her know about one of my friends and I gave her very clear examples of how she was competing with me. And she literally lashed out at me and said, "Okay, she's jealous of you, so what? Have you never been jealous of someone before?" And it was almost like she was normalizing to me or trying to get me to believe that it's normal to have friends who are low-key jealous of you. And as a mother, it's just like, how could you ever advise your daughter to kind of just let it go because everyone gets jealous sometimes? What? Like, what? I couldn't imagine having a baby and my daughter being beautiful and growing up to be this amazing little girl, and her friends are competing with her and being nasty to her, and me telling her, well, oh, get over it. Everyone gets jealous sometimes, so what? And it's just like, why are you enabling a person who is literally harming or will harm your child in the future because of their hatred and competitive nature with your child? I just never understood that. And it just validated my feelings about my mother that I had already known, which was that she didn't have my best interest at heart. She was giving me bad advice, which was ultimately to stay friends with her and not care that she was competing with me and hating on me low-key. That's what these types of people do. They try to make you feel crazy for actually picking up on something that you notice that is weird and that is not normal and that is not okay. Another example of people being threatened would be the storylines and the plots in the Disney princess movies. So in these movies, these girls were cursed by like wicked stepmothers or were suppressed by wicked stepmothers and witches who were threatened by their beauty. A lot like Snow White and Cinderella, and we all know those stories, but somewhere in those stories, there was a woman or multiple women who were threatened by her beauty and threatened by the places she was going to go or what she was capable of, and wanted to stop that light out of her before it got a chance to awaken. If you think about it, why did these villains in these movies feel the need to stifle the progression of these girls? Like, why did they feel the need to stop them from achieving their destiny? I mean, everyone has their own destiny and everyone should be focused on their own destiny, but for some reason, these villains were so focused on ruining the lives of Snow White, Cinderella, etc. And it's because they were threats to their plan or threats to their self-worth, their idea of themselves, something in those Disney princesses. That's the first thing I thought about when I think about movies and shows that I've watched. A lot of Disney princess plots and storylines have the same theme, and it's some wicked woman is jealous and wants to tear you down. And I think it's so crazy that these stories were being told to us from a young age when we were watching the movies. And it's so crazy that a lot of us have lived the lives of a lot of these Disney princesses. So what I want to let you ladies know is that if you've been a target for people's negativity, bullying, and abuse unprovoked, so these people have just made you a target for absolutely no reason. You can be nice as pie. It doesn't matter. They still hate your guts. It's because they are threatened. Simple as that. If they weren't threatened by you, you'd be invisible to them. But because you are so noticeable, because your light is so bright, because you are beautiful, gorgeous, you have an exotic look, whatever the case may be, you are unsettling to these people and it bothers them, and they can't wrap their brain around the fact that they are threatened by you, so they will try to make their problems that they're battling internally your problem. So I want to encourage you all to keep standing in your power, lean on your own understanding of things. Your intuition is there for a reason, and it is your God-given innate ability to tap into your intuition, to get the answers that you need about things, and to get clarity on things. I would also say to pray, of course, if that's what you enjoy doing. I would say to meditate as well. People will try to impose their fate. People will try to impose their will onto you, and you have to be mentally strong enough to consult with yourself and trust and believe yourself before anyone else. Because like I said earlier in this video, my own mother was leading me astray. My own mother, who was supposed to be protecting me, looking out for me, giving me advice, telling me that I was beautiful and this is why people were doing these things to me, didn't. She did not protect me. She did not give me the guidance I needed to be able to navigate environments where I would be a target. She actually helped in my demise in that way. So trust yourself above anyone else, ladies. And if you ever do find yourself in a position where people are targeting you and they are coming out of their body and out of their mouth to actually try to stifle you, do everything in your power to nip it in the bud, because your biggest regret will be allowing these people to get over on you. So ladies, let me know your thoughts. I'd love to hear what you think of this phenomenon. I know a lot of us have experienced people being threatened by us for absolutely no reason. They can't take us, they can't stand us, but they're not stopping nothing, period. You can also write me to my email, which will be in my description box, with any stories that you may have when it comes to people being threatened by you, people being insecure, and just the ways that they have tried to stifle your life. I look forward to hopping on here again to connect with you ladies soon. Have a lovely day.